Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means? It's the time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via Amazon, DHL, FedEx, UPS, United States Postal Service, Horse and Buggy, that old outlaw, Waylon Jennings, and of course what I found in the stores this week. And we also talk about a lot of news, a lot of action figure news this week that I'm interested in. Hopefully you guys are interested in too, and we wrap it all up into a ball, and we call it Weekly Purchases, our weekly check-in every single Saturday we've been doing for well over a year now at this point, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys following along and watching along. And as you guys know, if you've been following the channel, you've been following me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram, and of course the YouTube channel. If you've been following along, we hit 9,000 subscribers this week. I thank all you guys out there, so I really do appreciate you guys watching along and being interested in what I have to say. So thank you for subscribing to the channel, and now we turn our attention to 10,000 subscribers. We should have a lot of good stuff at 10,000. We always have good stuff on the channel, as you guys know. But 10,000, that's a special milestone. That is probably the biggest YouTube milestone. I mean, outside of maybe 100,000, I think 10,000 is probably the biggest one. It's the one I'd say I care the most about. I mean, yeah, keep growing, that's great and everything, but 10,000 really, it's just a nice number. It's just a nice number at the end of the day. And when we hit 10,000, we're going to do something really nice. We're going to do the top 10 Ultimate Warrior figures of all time as voted by me. That's going to be like picking between my dogs, picking between my children. It's going to be tough. It's going to really take some work. I need to start thinking about it, because that's going to be a tough one. As you guys know, I'm an Ultimate Warrior fan to the nth degree. I think about every figure he's ever had. So going to be very difficult to choose for me, but I'm going to get it done for the 10,000 video. So be prepared for that. We're going to do some big giveaways. I feel like we should do a wrestling giveaway, a Marvel giveaway, a Star Wars giveaway. We should do a lot of giveaways to, say thanks for you guys watching along and following along on the channel. And we'll see what else we got. Maybe a Q&A video. Maybe my dad possibly making it a turn onto the channel. We'll see what goes on with that. See what his schedule's like. See if he can make time between golfing every day of the week. We'll see if he's got time for that. So we'll see. But thanks everybody for the 9K subscribers. I do appreciate it out there. So thank you again. Now let's do what we always do. We always start off these weekly purchase video, but we got to recap what we did in the last week on the channel. And there was a lot of videos. There's always a lot of videos on the channel. There's so much stuff coming out. I get caught up, and then I think I'm caught up, and then a ton of stuff comes out. You guys know how it goes. You're probably in the same boat as me. But this week on the channel, we unboxed the NECA April O'Neil online exclusive as of now. Eventually it'll be out everywhere, but if you pre-ordered, it was an online NECA exclusive. So we opened up that April O'Neil, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Colonel Mustafa, the collector's edition of the SummerSlam Wave. We unboxed that one. Check out old Colonel Mustafa. Can't wait to get the Sergeant Slaughter to go with him. That'll be a good one. Fingers crossed, General Adnan in 2022. We'll see what happens there. We unboxed Odin and Thor. We kept it all in the family. We unboxed their Infinity Saga figures together, so check that one out. We also unboxed Iron Man and Thanos from the Infinity Saga. A lot of good figures from the Marvel Legends team as usual. We did our weekly Jakks Classic Superstars deep dive with Hulk Hogan, Walmart, Toys R Us, Walmart Canada, Toys R Us, Walmart exclusive in the United States. We talked about those, went over those. So if you missed those Jakks Classic Superstars or any of the other ones, those are some of the funnest videos to do, as you too could be a Jakks Classic Superstars expert, as you guys know. We unboxed Survivor Series 2021 edition, Bayley, Keith Lee, but the two exciting ones a lot of people were excited about, Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart. An interesting set, a very interesting set. More than meets the eye like a young Transformers with that set. But that Hulk Hogan got a lot of bad raps. I tell you what, guys, don't sleep on that Hogan figure. Watch that review. There's a lot of cool stuff about that figure that I think a lot of us maybe might have missed on first impression. So definitely check out that Hulk Hogan, but check out the whole series. Don't forget to watch the big one. You can fast forward to the end. You can see how I ranked them, and you can give me your rankings as well, how you rank those 4 figures. But we also did the top 10 Hulk Hogan figures this week. That was a very hard one, very similar to Warrior. Hulk Hogan's had figures from about every line from his get-go. I mean, he's had a lot of figures, so finding 10 was a little bit challenging, but check out that video, and that's what we did for our 9,000 subscribers. As you guys normally know, we do a top 5 every Thursday on the channel, but when we hit those milestones, we're going to do a top 10, and like I said, when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to do a 10 Ultimate Warrior figure, top 10 Ultimate Warrior. And after that, I've been kicking around the idea in my head that maybe after that, once we hit 10,000 subscribers, if we do, I got to think we will someday, but when we do, we'll hit 10,000, we'll do the Warrior, and then maybe once a month I'll do a top 10. Maybe I'll do 3 5s and then a top 10, because there's a lot of figures between a lot of different lines that really deserve a top 10 list. So maybe we'll do a little bit more, not as sporadic on the top 10s, if that makes sense. So check that out. Figure hunts this week. I even did a special one-off figure hunting video. I went to Kansas City up and down a 10-hour tour, much like Gilligan's Island's 3-hour tour. I did a 10-hour tour, kind of filmed my whole day. So there's that on the channel. Missouri Loves Company. A very cool joke. You guys all love it. I'm sure you guys all laughed. But that was a one-off figure hunting video. I think I dropped that on Monday last week. Maybe it was Tuesday. But check out that one if you missed it. It was pretty cool. I did get some finds out of that one, so I was very happy. And then we had our traditional figure hunting video every Friday on the channel. We do a figure hunt. It's kind of rolling everything up in the week, all the stores I hit over the week, and putting them all together and see what I found. And you'll definitely see some of that stuff in weekly purchases later on in this video. So the figure hunting game is very strong, and I don't know if you guys listened to it when I said in there, I'm a traveling man, and if the world's getting back to how it used to be, kind of. We might talk a little bit about that in weekly purchases. But I'm going to be in Waterloo, Iowa this week. So if you guys are in Waterloo area, Cedar Falls area, I'm up there for 2 days of meetings. I'll be there, so look for me there. I'm headed to Minnesota in a week or so. I'm headed to Wisconsin in a couple of weeks. I got a couple of days in Chicago. I'll be in Chicago for a while. I'm going to definitely grab Pequod's Pizza. It's been way too long. It's my favorite Chicago pizza. Going to hit that up. Maybe a Cubs game. We'll see how it goes. But I'll be in Chicago for a few days for work as well. So I'm going to be a traveling man. So we're going to have some fun videos. I don't know if I'll always do a single one-day video, but maybe that Chicago trip or something. It'll be, here's the Chicago adventure or something. I don't know. Stay tuned is what I would say. Better yet, subscribe to the channel. There you go. So, busy news week once again this week. They're always busy, aren't they? It seems like as of late, there hasn't been as many figures to find, so the figure portion's been a little smaller than normal, but the news keeps growing. It keeps just engulfing everything. So, like every week lately, a lot of toy news this week. And the first thing, if there was only somebody that had been talking about this for a long time, yes, it was me. There you go, spoiler alert. But price increases, they are here. They are beginning. We are starting to see them. I've been saying it for 4 or 5 months now, maybe even longer than that, on this very weekly purchases and a lot of my videos. Guys, inflation's real. It's coming. Pricing is coming. Well, September 1st hit, and I've saw it all over social media. Hey, Target has raised their online prices of WWE Elites and other figures out there. We're seeing retailers do that. The grocery industry especially. Pretty much everything is going up in price. I don't like it. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes to spend more money, but it's a real thing. And like I said, I think the last few weeks, my early intel is 2022, after the rest of this year, new pricing starts first of the year. Depending if you're a quarterly or trimesterly on your pricing, every company is a little bit different. Prices are going to be going up. They're going up, unfortunately, in 2022 as well. So it's going to be a continued trend. I've said it on the channel before. There's certain lines I'm going to start picking and choosing. I'm going to be picking and choosing Mortal Kombat, Star Wars 3 3/4 figures. I'm cutting back. I'm not going to buy all of them. We got to vote with our wallets. If you're not happy with price increases, you can't afford the price increase, vote with your wallet and don't buy them. But I will say there's a little caveat, some industry news. I'm putting on the old business hat here a little bit. I know some of you guys like it, some of you probably don't, and you can fast forward. But business hat a little bit. I can tell you about Walmart. Now, Walmart's an interesting dynamic. They really do rule store retail in the United States, especially, in other places as well. Now, Walmart lost a lot of share, and I don't want to get onto a whole share explanation of how share works and all that, but basically, their piece of the pie in every single area. Now, when COVID hit, what did you guys think? Well, I'm probably not going to Walmart, in store at least, because most of the time Walmart, and with good reason, has a classification to be more a dirtier store and stuff. So stores that are perceived cleaner, they got a pretty big uptick in business over the COVID time frame. Walmart stumbled on some stuff. They did great on online, but guess what? Everybody did great on online, and I'm pretty positive, I don't have the data in front of me, but just from my memory, most places had a bigger surge in online than Walmart. Dollar amount, Walmart still won because they're Walmart, but a lot of places, grew thousands of % in their online business during COVID, but Walmart grew a lot too, as you can imagine. But a lot of people stepped away from Walmart during COVID times. Well, things have started to get back to normal a little bit. a lot bit in some areas, but a little bit. And you know what? Walmart is seeing their business grow again. They're getting back, and some of the other retailers out there, unfortunately, are going kind of back down to where they were pre-COVID. Obviously, nobody likes that. Those retailers are trying to figure out a way to keep a piece of that pie from going back to Walmart, and Walmart's trying to gain everybody back. So what's Walmart doing? How does this relate to pricing? Well, my early intel and dealing with Walmart on a daily basis, and being through in the network, we'll call it in the network, I'm hearing Walmart, and not every item is going to be part of this, but a lot of them, it sounds like, Walmart is not going to pass on these price increases to the consumer right away. They are waiting a little bit because guess what? They want everybody else, all the competition out there, to go up in price. And then all of a sudden, let's say Target, that's Walmart's big online enemy, I would say, or not online, in-store brick and mortar enemy. They're going to let Target take that price increase, and all of a sudden you're buying Elites for $23 at Target now. Well, they're still $16.97, $15.97 at your Walmart. That's going to say to you, man, I got to buy all my toys at Walmart. I'm going to go to Walmart. I can save $5 or $3 or whatever the item is. Very smart on Walmart. Walmart obviously has very deep pockets, more than probably you and me combined that are watching this. They can afford to do those kind of things. I don't know if you guys know this, it's no secret, but Walmart takes a loss on a lot of things. There's stuff in their store, they lose money every time they sell one. But guess what? They drive the consumer into their stores to buy tires or tools or clothing, where they're making all that money up and then some. That's just the secrets of retail, I guess you would say. But Walmart is using that. They have deep pockets, like I said. I don't know how long it'll go for. Eventually, they're going to take a price increase, but it might be a couple of months. It could be a couple of weeks, but we'll see some of the other retailers go up. Walmart will hang tight, and then all of a sudden it'll swoop back and Walmart will go up. But Walmart will still be a little cheaper. They'll always do that. They'll always be a little cheaper, especially on top items out there. But that's what we're seeing out there. So the prophecy was true. I put on the business hat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little of that. But the prophecy was true. We're seeing price increases across the board. Start pitching your pennies. And if something hasn't went up that you're looking at buying, I've said this the last few weeks too, get on it now. That's why I went to IKEA. I bought some stuff I needed at IKEA because guess what? It's going to go up in price as well. As with shipping container issues and transportation issues, all that, it's all being passed on to the consumer for the most part. But if you have any purchases out there that are lingering, buy it now because, you save a couple of dollars. That's going to fund something else down the road. So very interesting dynamics there. But at the end of the day, you guys vote with your wallet. If you don't like price increases, you don't buy it. That sends the message, hey, we got to do something different because we're losing. You can lose some sales if you're selling it at a higher retail. That's just the way it works. But if nobody buys, I better go back down or I better make some big sales. One tip I've always learned over the years on when you do a price increase, the first week of the price increase, you do a really hot ad. You do an ad that's really cheaper for the product, and then you go back up to price, and then you go price for a little bit. Then you spike in another ad a couple of weeks later. Take that Band-Aid off slowly. That's always my recommendation whenever prices increase. There's a little pro tip for you out there. But this week I was in meetings. I think I talked about that in my figure hunting video. I had a couple of days of meetings. It was interesting being back in a huge environment, a kind of an industry event, I guess we'll call it. And one of the speakers there, I had to sit through a lot of speakers, and that's just the way it goes. But one of them was the chief economist for Coca-Cola. He was their economy guy, and he had a lot of interesting things. I mean, this guy studies the economy. He studies the growth and what's going to happen out there. And I think we all think there's a lot of gloom and doom out there, and there's always gloom and doom. But the economy is recovering pretty well based on everything he was showing and he was going through and showing stuff. People have more discretionary money than ever before, and I do believe that with a lot of the I don't want to say handouts, but a lot of the money we got from the government over the last few years and everybody got, people have more money than ever before. People are paying more, sign-on bonuses. If you're unemployed, it's because you don't want a job or you can't have one, something like that. That's the way that's going. So people have a lot of money. They're willing to spend it. They're waiting for the world to burst open so they can get back out there. They can travel. They can spend money. So it sounds like everything he's saying, basically, the only thing holding us back right now is the vaccination. That's what he says. We can get to the herd immunity and all that. I mean, this isn't a political show, and honestly, I don't really like politics at all. I got action figures to talk about. I don't want to be gloom and doom, but basically that's what he said. Hey, once we get there, we're having a nice spike in COVID right now, but that's going to help the immunity get there and all that. And he thinks by 2022, early 2022, things are going to be back to normal, and he thinks the economy is going to really surge. You guys have probably seen that. You guys own a home out there. I mean, my home went up just an insane amount. I can't believe how much my house went up in value. That sucks paying property taxes, of course, but I'm sure a lot of you guys, there's a lot of stuff going up. So I think there's going to be a pretty big bounce back, and I think there's going to be a lot of people maybe sticking with the figure game. We'll see. That was kind of my thought, is a lot of people would jump out, and we did see people jumping out of the figure game pretty heavily the last few months, but it seems now that it's kind of plateaued out, and I haven't seen a lot of people dumping collections like we saw just a few months ago, and it seems like people are collecting more, but now the inflation comes into it. So I don't know, this is turning into a CNBC show, and that's not what I want, but just free-flowing off the top of my head. But it was very interesting to hear from Coca-Cola, obviously a very big company, their chief economist, and his thoughts of what to project for the future. He definitely knows better than me, I would say. That's what he does for a living, and seemed like a pretty smart guy. I think he had like 10 masters or something, I don't know, but there it is. But now let's turn our attention back to the action figures after we get this business hat off. How about Galactus? We did it. We did it once again. We did it with the new generation ring. We did it with Galactus. I was a part of both of them. I'm sure a lot of you guys were a part of at least one of them, if not both of them. Galactus, the final tally, 30,779 Galactus figures pre-ordered. They're going to come about a year from now. What have we learned from this? We got to take our learnings. Well, you know, for me, the biggest learning over this ring and the Galactus to me, you know what the biggest learning was? People are procrastinators by invention or whatever. I think we were invented to be procrastinators. That's what the majority of people really are. And even on this Galactus one, you didn't have to pay until it was backed. And at the very end, I think August 31st, you had to pay. You could have backed the whole time. I'm one of those people that I was one of those kids. Friday, when I got home from school, I did all my homework so I didn't have to do it over the weekend. But I think there's a lot of people out there, maybe you're one of them, that did all their homework Sunday night before school started again. And I think that's what we saw with Galactus here. There was a lot of people, myself included, I didn't really feel like we were going to get any of the add-ons. Well, that got blown out of the water. We've got Frankie Ray Nova. We got Silver Surfer. We got Morg, which was, he looks like a burnt peanut to me. I don't know if you got that impression. But we got Morg. I hope he's a deluxe figure. We'll see how he ends up looking. But we got 3 Heralds. That's pretty good. And then at the very end, right down to the gun, they gave us an extra head. Very much like the Sentinel, we got extra heads. We've got extra heads for Galactus, so you can turn this into Dr. Doom Galactus. I'm not familiar with that myself, but it's part of a story arc, I guess, somewhere in the Galactus lore. But you can do that. I know some people grumbled about that, but I'm okay with it because technically it feels like a free add-on to me, and I'm sure there'll be people selling that head down the line. I don't know why you would just sell the head because you got to have the Galactus to go with, but who knows. But that was a pretty good addition. There was a lot of people screaming, we still got a day, can we get something else? We didn't, but 30,000 plus, it's the biggest back ever. I never in a million years thought it would overtake the Sentinel. Sentinel's an army builder. Sentinel's very iconic to a lot of people that collect these days, that watch the X-Men animated series. X-Men fans, but the Fantastic Four fans voted with their wallet. I'm sure there's some people that bought to flip. I don't know about that. A year from now, you're going to have so many people want to flip a Galactus. I just don't see it being worth a ton right off. You got to wait a few years. Of course, you're going to have new collectors that come into it. No different than the ring that missed out, weren't collecting at the time, that'll want to be a part of it. But it'll be interesting. A lot like the ring, a year from now when those come out, what will the prices be? What will they be selling for? Once again, time will tell. So very, very interesting times. But kudos to everybody that backed the Galactus. We're going to get more and more of this stuff. I love it. I love the idea of it. I hate waiting a year. I hate people sitting on my money for a year. But it is what it is if we want to get stuff like this. So kudos on Galactus. This week, Target announced Target Collectors Con coming back with a vengeance, and it actually started yesterday, Friday, with Batman from McFarlane. A pretty cool one, actually, an autographed edition and a regular edition, kind of a 2-in-1 figure with the big waving cape. This is my Batman. When I think of Batman, a lot of people think the black suit and all that. Not me. I'm a Super Friends guy. You guys know I'm not a big DC guy, but my DC favorite fandom is, and I hope McFarlane touches it one day, is the old Super Friends. The old Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Flash, Superman, Batman, Robin, the Wonder Twins. But give us those guys. But this Batman looks a lot like that generation of Batman. So I said, you know what, $50, I'm going to pre-order it. I can cancel it. It might get canceled for me. I could always sell it, but I didn't want to miss out on this Batman because I love that blue and gray costume on Batman. But the Target Collectors Con going strong all month. It sounds like every Friday morning there's going to be a different drop. So we can expect our friends from Star Wars. We can expect our friends from Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, possibly wrestling. Hopefully we get some good stuff. We know we have that Eternals Angelina Jolie that's a Target exclusive. I'm sure we will see that as part of this, as part of a pre-order process. So stay tuned to Target, 8 a.m. like I said on Fridays. I think through October 3rd, October 1st, something like that. There's going to be different drops out there. So be on the hunt as we're starting to see a resurgence of more toys coming, getting ready for that holiday season. A lot of toys are going to be hitting the pegs very soon, so be ready for that in the Target Con. This week, speaking of Hasbro Pulse, we're going to get a Star Wars live stream this week. It's, what is it, Tuesday or Wednesday this week? I think it's Wednesday. I will not be able to watch it live. I always try to watch these while I'm working, have them going on my iPad to the side. Unfortunately, I'll be in meetings this week, so I'll miss out. I'll have to watch it at night. It'll be interesting because the Star Wars team has been very quiet for a while. I feel like they've kind of laid low and let the Transformers and Marvel team kind of push their wares, their HasLab projects, and they don't want to interfere with that a little bit because at the end of the day, they do have their teams, and I guarantee you that Star Wars team wants to outsell the Marvel team, that wants to outsell the Power Rangers team, and all that kind of stuff. But they're laying low per company direction probably. But Hasbro's going to announce some stuff. I got to think they got a ton of stuff to announce because, like I said, it's been months, it feels like, since we've really had any Star Wars news or any Star Wars figures. I think they have a lot of figures maybe caught in the pipeline in some of those containers and being delayed and stuff like that. But very interesting to see what the Star Wars team announces. Will they really go all in on the Rancor HasLab, or will they wait till maybe October for some more of that discussion? I'm sure they're going to at least reference it in this live stream, so we'll stay tuned, and we'll cover it on weekly purchases next Saturday, so stay tuned for that. One thing that came through, Storm Collectibles, an interesting line, those Storm Collectibles figures. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in, and they pulled me back in this week pretty hard. Mortal Kombat Storm Reptile. Extra heads, all the bells and whistles, accessories. This figure looks phenomenal. I'm sure it'll be about an $80 price point as usual with these. But I keep saying to myself, I'm just going to buy some of these core guys, these core collectors, or these core guys. That's Scorpion, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, of course, Raiden. But then you okay, it's Reptile. Then I'm end up getting Smoke and all these other guys. It's a snowball. That's the way it goes. But this looks so sick and so cool. I said I'm probably going to be pre-ordering this Reptile, but they did announce him officially this week. So I'm all in. I'm all in on it. I'm going to have to pick that one up. We also saw Usagi Yojimbo from the NECA Cartoon Turtle line, Target exclusive. It was the sculptor, I think, showed the picture of it. It's one of the most wanted ones from that cartoon line we haven't gotten yet. So I do see that coming. I would think he'll be a single carded deluxe one, kind of like the Mondo Gecko, with all the bells and whistles. But that's one a lot of people have been wanting, and we saw some pictures. So I'm assuming he'll be here in 2022. That's a pretty easy guess, I think, at this point. So there it is, a little NECA Cartoon Ninja Turtle talk. And then we get to the wrestling talk. So wrestling, not a ton of news this week, but a few things out there. We saw from Chella Toys, they keep hammering along with those retro figures. They are making a Big Daddy figure. And us in the United States probably aren't super familiar with Big Daddy. I definitely know. I remember as a kid renting best of British wrestling tapes at my local video store, having stuff like that. So I did see some Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks throughout the years. I knew who they were. Of course, Giant Haystacks coming as Loch Ness for a brief run in WCW. But Big Daddy was a big deal in the UK, and you UK viewers out there can explain it a lot better than I can, but he was a huge deal over there, so it's pretty cool. I believe this is his first figure he will ever have, or ever has had, possibly. So that's pretty cool, and I might actually get this one. I feel like, you guys know I'm a sucker for big figures, but just the newness of that, the Haystacks, the Big Daddy, the epic rivalry there, two big dudes going at it. Just kind of fits my wheelhouse a little bit. Not my favorites by any means, but pretty cool. And of course, Chella being a UK-based company, I'm pretty certain on that. They're going to put these out there, and it's great for the UK fans out there getting those. So we do have Big Daddy coming. I talked about it last week. Super 7, where is the delay notifications? They probably watched this video and said, hey, we better send that out. Probably not, but maybe it was a coincidence out there. But Super 7 did officially announce this week. The Brian Myers, Matt Cardona figures were supposed to ship in August. Sounds like October, so I would bet probably somewhere in the November area they should be there. And then, of course, you guys know about a month after those were announced, we got Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, the old Good Brothers announced. Well, they've been moved to December. September, so I'm guessing Christmas time, first of the year for those two. So, you know, Super 7, always a challenge. I always say they should say, oh, these are coming out 2 years from now, and then come out a year and a half, and we'll all be excited. Instead, they always say that year, and it's always a year, year and a half, or 2 years in Thundercats example. So, I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Still no mention, at least nothing I've seen on King Diamond. I'm hoping that King Diamond figure comes, but guess what? August is now past. We're into September. I just hope King Diamond comes this year. I'm very excited about that King Diamond. The Papa figure from Ghost, I have that one coming as well. And of course, Thundercats series, 2, 3, 4, Thunder Tank, G.I. Joe. Super 7's got a lot of my money right now. But as I always say, I go via Big Bad Toy Store. I'm not just a client. I'm also, I forget how that saying goes, just for Ben saying. But I buy them through Big Bad Toy Store. That's what I strongly recommend. I don't like people sitting on my money, so I go through the link in my description below. Support the channel. Get your stuff from Super 7 through there. You don't have to pay till it ships. I just don't like the idea of somebody sitting on my money for a year plus unless I really have to. And you got options out there. Go through Big Bad Toy Store. You know you're going to get it. You know you're going to get it mint. That's my pro tip recommendation for all you guys out there. And then today, maybe as you're watching this, Jazzwares, that's a huge weekend for AEW, but they have some figure announcements going on Saturday. So we'll see what that ends up being. I'll be watching intently. I want to say it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when they're going to announce those. I might even do a video this weekend, so stay tuned to the channel. I might do a video recapping it with my thoughts and stuff if there's a lot of news. If there's only a couple of things, we'll probably save it for next Saturday. But AEW Jazzwares announcing a few things this week at the all-out big party celebration in Chicago, we'll call it. There you go. And then finally, the last bit of news this week, we're turning our attention to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe figures. We did see announcement, PowerCon, maybe you guys know, maybe you don't. September 11th and 12th, Anaheim, California. It's the big He-Man convention. It's back. Well, shipping container issues, shipping issues, and all that. They did put the announcement. If you pre-ordered PowerCon exclusives, there's a pretty strong possibility they are not going to be there in time. Very, very unfortunate, of course. So what they said is you can pay to ship these things, but guess what? Shipping is going to be a fortune because they're big, heavy boxes and all that fun stuff that goes with shipping. So I'm kind of hoping, selfishly, because you guys know I missed out on these PowerCon exclusives. I was on that PowerCon site trying to get them. Little did I know I could have went to Big Bad Toy Store and just got them very easily. Paid a little bit more, but that would have been so worth it instead of not getting them at all and all the headaches that came with the PowerCon site. I'm hoping some people say, you know what, I don't want these anymore. I'm not going to wait. I don't want to pay an extra $100 in shipping or whatever because they're already way pricey. So maybe I'll be able to swoop in on Big Bad Toy Store as we get closer here and pick some of those up. So we'll see on that. But for those of you guys going, first off, you're lucky. I hope you enjoy and hopefully you give me some feedback of how it was. But yeah, if you don't get those figures, maybe I'll get a chance. So there you go. We also heard from Big Bad Toy Store. They were big in the announcement. They were breaking a lot of news in the Masters of the Universe circles this week. They did announce Origins Series 7 this week, which I thought was very interesting. Going up on their site for pre-order, we're finally going to get Buzz Off, Mini-Con Stratos. I know some people have griped about that set, but I'm very excited to get Buzz Off. He was a favorite of mine as a kid, so I can't wait to get him in the Origins lineup. Jitsu is going to be in there as well, so you got to have him to go against your Fisto, of course. So Origins Series 7 up for pre-order there. And then we also got Revelation Series 3 announced and pre-order up there. So it's really weird the Masters of the Universe team from Mattel isn't doing like a nice big announcement and stuff. I just don't know how that works, but it is what it is. But the worst kept secret in the Revelations line, Scareglow is going to be in Series 3. We know he's the exclusive from the San Diego Comic-Con with all the bells and whistles. Well, we're getting a traditional retail one in Series 3, so be ready for that. We're also getting Fisto, one of my all-time favorites. We're getting Fisto in the Revelations line. We're getting Stinkor, another favorite on the bad guys side for a lot of people. And then we're getting Andra, Tila's friend, part of the comic books, just one that flew under my radar my whole life. But we're getting her, and that makes sense. She did feature pretty prominently in the Revelations episodes. So we're getting that in Series 3. And then Series 4, 2 unnamed characters you can pre-order. Nobody knows who they are yet. But we're getting Barbarian Skeletor and Viking He-Man. I'm wondering if possibly some of those might be more fleshed out in the second half of that series. That could be, because by the time those come out, Series 4, I got to think the second half of the Revelation series, that everything's going to be right in the world with the He-Man universe, I have a feeling, after that second half. You just got to stay tuned for that. But A lot of announcements there. That was a lot of announcements from the He-Man team. So Series 3, Series 4 Revelations, PowerCon announcements, and then, of course, Origins Series 7 coming in hot. I can't wait. I hope that line keeps going and going and going. That's my goal, because I love me some He-Man. But got all my notes. That's everything here. We got to turn our attention to... Wait a minute, I almost forgot. This week, I should mention Pro Wrestling Tees this weekend, today. Do it now. 20% off all t-shirts in stock. Of course, you can support the channel, Pro Wrestling Tees. Search Kyle Peterson. Get your very own Turtle Anxiety t-shirts. Get your very own See You Later t-shirts. Support the channel. That truly is the best way to support the channel. So pick up one of those t-shirts and, you know, gotta get a deal. It's the motto of the channel. We should get a gotta get a deal t-shirt. But that's the time to do it. You can save 20% on those shirts this weekend. So if you're on the fence, now's the time. There you go. But we got to turn our attention to Album of the Week. Album of the Week this week, it was tough. Not really tough, but there's another album. Maybe we'll talk about it next week that I really want to talk about. But we're going to talk about the one that's on the tip of all metalheads' tongues this week. It's Iron Maiden week. We had a brand new Iron Maiden album yesterday. Senjutsu, I believe is how it's pronounced, Iron Maiden. Like their 17th album, something like that. I love Iron Maiden. One of the greatest shows you could ever go to. Even if you don't like Iron Maiden, if they're ever in your area, go to the show. You'll absolutely love the show. The theatrics, the stage show, it's amazing. Iron Maiden, one of the big heavy metal bands of all time. I always say Maiden, Priest, Sabbath, Motorhead. Those are the big 4 metal bands of all time. You can go a lot of other ways too. You can go to Slayer and all that kind of stuff, but those are my big 4 at least. I listened to the album twice so far, and it's one of those ones you got to listen to a lot to really like. Sometimes I like that, sometimes I don't. I'm somewhere in the middle with this one. I'm going to have to listen to it some more, but man, you guys know that follow Iron Maiden, they've gotten so proggy in their older age. It's just long, epic songs. I miss the days. I'm a guy that likes fast songs, fast 2-3 minute songs. A 14-minute epic doesn't do a lot for me, and it never has. And there's a lot of, it's like an 83-minute album, something like that. So it's a pretty long one, but I always say it, and I'll always say it. I'd rather have some Iron Maiden than no Iron Maiden. So I definitely at least recommend checking it out at least once, especially if you're an Iron Maiden fan. What are you waiting for? Check it out. So there it is. That's a lot of news, about a half hour of news this week, but that's the way it's going lately. A lot of announcements, a lot of stuff. We'll see what comes up next week, but now we got to get down to it. Let's get down to it. Let's get to the weekly purchases. All right, everybody, let's get down to it. Let's get down to the weekly purchases. And I thought this week would be relatively slow, but it picked up as the week went on, like a lot of weeks do out there, but a little bit more than I thought this week. So maybe next week will be a little slower. I guess time will tell. Stay tuned for next week, as I always say. But let's kick it off with weekly purchases. Found this early in the week, and I got quite the story to go with this one. What is this? Oroko Saki versus Hamato Yoshi. All honesty, probably my least anticipated NECA Ninja Turtle release of all time. I mean, these guys were in the screen for like, what, a minute? 2 minutes tops? Something like that. But being a completist, having to have these turtles, it took some work here. But here's the story time, and this is where Kyle lost his top. I'm usually pretty chill. I don't really get in too many fights or anything like that. But I did lose my top about this one. I went on full-on Karen in a store. Yes, you heard it right. I went full Karen. I went to my local Walmart, showed up, and what do you know? They had 2 of these on the shelf. I said, oh, yeah, done, just like that. Because I did see from a local collector, and old Waylon Jennings, that old outlaw, he did find one of these up in his area. Unfortunately, there was only one. So I said, well, I better go check my Walmart. If they're hitting other places, they're probably hitting mine. Went there, and there you go, right on the shelf right when I walk in. Awesome. You guys probably saw it in the figure hunting video. But I go up to the register, and I had to get another figure, you'll see here in a second, that I ended up getting somewhere else. But I had that figure. I was going to get a candy bar. For some reason, I was craving a Snickers. I don't know. I needed one. And maybe like those commercials. And then I was going to get a Monster Energy drink. Because I usually drink a Monster early in the morning. I got to get fueled up. I don't drink coffee or any of that. And I was getting all this stuff. Check out, it says not on file. I'm like, what the heck? Not on file. So then, you know, the Walmart person comes over. And they take 10 minutes to get there. And trying to figure it out, gets her handheld, trying to figure it out. It's not ringing up. I'm like, well, it's $49.96. There's the tag, was back there. I could show you all this stuff. Well, she finally calls over the store director. I said, oh, business is picking up. And as you guys know, I know quite a few store directors out there. Not to toot my own horn, I got a little bit of a name out there. I got a name. I'm well known in the industry. Anyways, this store director comes over and she grabs it and says, oh yeah, I can't sell you that. We had that issue earlier today. It's not in inventory. And I said, wait a minute, you can't sell it to me. What do you mean you can't sell it to me? Well, she goes, it'll mess up our inventory if I sell it to you. I said, how does it mess up inventory if it isn't in your inventory? It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And anyways, everybody knows this. Across the country, they're having issues with this for whatever reason. And I said, all you got to do is find a like item matched against that. She just said, oh, no, I can't do that. I just can't sell it. I said, so you're telling me you had this problem earlier today, but you just said, you know what, I'm going to leave the other two on the shelves, or I'm going to leave them on the shelves. So I'm just going to deal with it. And she's like, yeah. I said, you run an amazing store, lady. And that's what I said. And I said, you know what? All this other stuff, I don't want any of it. I'm done. I'm leaving. So I didn't buy anything. They lost me as a customer that day. I'll be back because I'm sure they'll have something I need sometime. But I was pretty hot. I was fuming, actually. I was really mad. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I've worked on both ends of it. I understand. I haven't worked at Walmart, but I worked in a grocery store from the time I was 14 till I graduated college. I was in a grocery store, and even after college. So I understand both sides of it. It's not always cut and dry. But right here, you're like, hey, I'm going to find a like item. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the customer happy. Or I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to take your number. And once we get this figured out, I have this for you. But nah, she just said, yeah, we had this problem already. We just put it in the back. Come on. What are we doing, lady? What are we doing? So long story short, I drove to the other nearest Walmart. I go back there. What do they have? They have 2 on file. This time I said, I'm taking it right to electronics. So I'm right here. Old Bill, if you're watching, you're a good guy. You might be about 90 years old and can't see. And Bill. But Bill had to call the manager. I said, please call the store director. And he didn't. And anyway, so then the manager never came. Well, once again, Kyle's been in the industry, the grocery industry, the sales industry for a long time. I said, you know what? I used to be a sales rep at this store back in the day. A good year, a very profitable year in young Kyle's existence. I know the manager. Guess what? Kyle just went straight through the back room, went right to the manager's office, knocked on the door and said, hey, we'll save the name. We won't give his name out. And I said, hey, what's going on? And he said, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. What's going on? I said, I need your help. And you know what? It's all about who you know sometimes. And he fixed this and let me buy it and just took care of it all for me. He had to take care of his old buddy Kyle. So long story there. Had to flip out at one store. Was about to flip out of the second one. Said, wait a minute. I know the store manager. Went back there. Got it done. That's what you got to do sometimes. But this set isn't worth that much hassle. I'm telling you that right now. So there you go. That's it. I got the NECA set this week. I also got, that day, Waylon Jennings helped me out with this. And then just like an hour later, I found my own. But Waylon Jennings gets the credit. He found me my mint on card Cody. As of right now, I'm keeping a mint on card LJN version set. Since they're not going to be in every single set, I figure I'm going to have a mint on card and a loose set of those. So we'll see if that stays the same. Hasbro Pulse this week coming through. Power of the Force era Black Series packaging here. Old Luke Skywalker. You know I'm a sucker for this. You guys see my daily Star Wars unboxings. We're unboxing the old school figures. We'll add this to the lineup. So I got Luke. I don't know if I really needed this Luke, but time will tell once we unbox that. Maybe coming this week on the channel. Stay tuned for that. Speaking of Star Wars, I did find this at my local Target. I thought I was out of 3 3/4, and I'm going to be very selective, I think, is more the right answer. Some of these figures I don't have, like Captain Rex or Captain Rex. Echo, of course, from the Clone Trooper. I didn't have an Echo, so I said, you know what, I'm picking up this Echo, so I got him. And then, of course, Darth Maul. I'm a sucker for guys in face paint, masks, aliens. I couldn't pass up this Darth Maul figure, especially with his mechanical legs. The old Mandalore version. So I got 2 vintage collection Star Wars figures at my Target this week. I did pass on that Jawa, if you saw that in my figure hunting video. So I'm not all in. I passed on the Jawa, so there you go. I did pick up, I'm going to do some customization. I'm not a big customizer. We've talked about that in the past. I'm an easy customs guy, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. So I did get another one of this Bray Wyatt. Walmart, like $15.97, whatever Elites are. That was the cheapest place to buy it. Same thing with the Fiend. So I got both of these. You can probably understand where I'm going with this, but maybe we'll do a video. I got a few things. I got a Teddy DiBiase Triple H I'm working on, a Karrion Kross. I might put them all in a video, and hey, it's Kyle's customizing extravaganza. We'll see. But I got those 2 Elites. Already had them, already unboxed them on the channel, but I got some plans for those. I got some plans, so there you go. And then my most wanted figure of the week, I was searching. I was climbing. I was clawing. I've been seeing people all over the country land this one. Not me. Not me, but guess what? About 10 minutes, or 10 minutes, but yeah, 10 minutes roughly. I just got home. Before I filmed weekly purchases, I went to my local Target, and what did I find? I finally found it. I found my boy. The most wanted figure right now, old Violator, Spawn. Me being a kid collected in the 90s, Spawn was everywhere, and hey, he's back with a vengeance. But look at this Violator. unbelievable. And we'll talk about this on the unboxing. Can't wait for a Malabolgia one of these days. I don't know if I said that right, but that's how I always said it. If Violator is this side, that means Malabolgia is going to be like this big. I can't wait. I hope that happens. But I got old Violator this week. I was very excited to find him at my local Target. A little pricey guy, and he's a big figure. You guys know I love big figures. $50 on him. He's pricey, but I did get him this week. What else did I get? Looky here. Got his partner in crime, upside down. Clown. Now, Clown I was on the fence on. I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up Clown. I liked Clown, but not my favorite in the world. You know, Violator and Clown. Violator's kind of Clown with makeup, and I won't explain the Spawn story to you. But I ended up picking this up. Very similar to Clown 2, if you remember the old Spawn days with the huge heavy guns and all that kind of stuff. I just saw it in person. I saw the Violator, a weak moment. I said I have to pick it up. So picked up Clown along with Violator this week. Pretty awesome if you ask me. I'm very excited to open these up. It'll be 1995, 96 all over again is what it'll be. So I picked those bad boys up. I also picked up, and I got through the mail, I guess, from Pro Wrestling Tees, New Jack. New Jack shipped this week. As you guys remember last week, RVD, Sabu, and the Sandman shipped. So I did get New Jack through the door this week. So there you go. I'm not sure what I'm doing with micro brawlers. I'm only buying guys I really like or ECW guys is what I've been telling myself. But then I skipped the Francine. I said, I don't want the Francine. Now I kind of got some regret not getting Francine, but we'll see how that all shakes out. Whoa, hold the phone, stop the clock. We got to break into weekly purchases. Right as I finished filming, I had a delivery at the door. I said, just like usual, it seems to happen almost every weekly purchases. I always film it, and then the mailman comes about an hour later, drops some stuff off for me, so I almost forgot. I have a couple other things to show as well, but here it is, through the door, Roman Reigns top picks. We're going to have to do these this week on the channel. You guys know how that goes. Very interesting new packaging designs. We'll have a lot to talk about with these, but we got Roman Reigns through the door. Bill Goldberg I passed on, but I had to get me Jeff Hardy, of course. We got a different figure here of Jeff Hardy, so we're going to have to talk about this one as well. So I got these two through the door, but then I almost forgot. We unboxed them this week on the channel. Just missed weekly purchases last week by a couple of days, but I got after it early and reviewed it, but we will talk about it right here real quick. Survivor Series Bret Hart, Survivor Series Bayley, Survivor Series Keith Lee, and the big one, Survivor Series Hulk Hogan. So like I said, we reviewed these on the channel this week, but they did come in as part of weekly purchases this week. Definitely check out the review of these on the channel. I think some of these are better than expected, some are worse than expected. But the Hulk Hogan, I gotta say, guys, don't sleep on that Hogan figure. Check out that review, see what you think. But the pinless joints, the double jointed elbows and knees, the darker tanner skin on the Hulkster, soft goods with title belt. This really is a no-brainer for me. Yes, the eyes are a little much, but it is basically Hulk Hogan, you know, ripping his shirt. He didn't have just a smile on his face when he was doing that. He had the bug-out eyes and all that kind of stuff. So it's a moment in time of what it's representing, but I think that one is worth a double take because I know a lot of people have kind of shrugged that one off. Bret Hart somewhere in the middle a little bit. But some elites through the door this week. We'll unbox these two on the channel. We'll probably do Jeff Hardy maybe on Sundays, so stay tuned for that. And then we're going to have Elite 88 next week through the mailbox sometime. I should have those. So probably the following week we'll unbox all those Elite 88 figures. So a lot of wrestling figures coming through the door as usual. A lot of unboxings to get to. But there it is. A little Mattel through the door this week. And oh, it's just a McFarlane week, I think. I said it in my figure hunting video. I said, stay tuned to see, did I pick him up? Well, here we are. I did pick it up, and a huge regret for me in the last few months was the Suicide Squad Shark, the big King Shark. I passed on the Walmart exclusive. That's what I should have picked up, but I passed on it. So I did see this at my local Target this week. I saw old John Cena, the old Peacemaker. I saw old Bloodsport, of course. Harley Quinn, you got to have her if you're talking Suicide Squad, don't you? And then, of course, the one I don't really know, Polka Dot Man. They all come together to build the King Shark. So I'm going to have a King Shark one way or the other. Even if I don't get the Walmart exclusive one, I'm still on the hunt for it. Hopefully I find it. Not sure what I'll do with these figures. I might just keep them. I probably will. I was thinking I might sell them, but I think I might just make a Suicide Squad shelf. One of my Calex shelves or something like that. But the Shark is what I wanted. So that's what I came through. I ended up getting them, and I was kind of surprised at myself, but it's just a McFarlane week, I guess, with Clown, Violator, Batman pre-order, and then these guys. I don't know. I'm not a huge McFarlane DC guy, as I've always say, but I dabble. I dabble in certain ones, but I will tell you, if they ever come out with the traditional Justice League set from the old Super Friends days, I'm all in. I will buy that Justice League team. I just don't want any of the movie or modern day ones. Those just aren't for me. And then we got one last one. I've been threatening to pick these up for months, and I guess I've decided to start my collection now. So here we go. But I did buy a pop, and I'm not a huge pop guy, as you know. But I couldn't pass the GameStop exclusive glow-in-the-dark Skeletor pop. Well, what's that mean? I got to have the He-Man to go with it. Well, they have the big Trap Jaw, and they have the big Beast-Man. I better get those two as well. So I think, as of now, I'm all in on the big pop Masters of the Universe figures as of right now. There's 4 of them. I don't know if there's going to be more. They're going to make Ram Man, or they're going to make Stratos. They're going to fill it all out. These are big figures. I'll probably open them up. But I said, hey, I got Skeletor. I'm going to start there. I'm going to order He-Man. And we'll see where it goes. But I'm going to play a little of that long game. I'm not going to buy them all at once, I don't think, unless I get a deal. I'm just going to slowly piece that collection together. But picked up Skeletor this week, so we're off to the races as usual. And that is it. That is weekly purchases this week. A lot of big purchases, a lot going on in the news this week, just a lot going on across the board. But I ask you guys, you made it this far, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the old notification bell. Of course, give me your comments below. Any news commentary you got there, let me know. Also, what did you pick up this week? Anything good? Did you find anything playing that long game out there? Or did you find something just by chance this week? Let me know in the comments. So there it is, another weekly purchases under the belt. And you guys know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling. I'm strutting and strolling my way into the weekend, the holiday weekend. And I will see you guys all real soon.